Hello, welcome to the Minnesota Pubcast. This is so weird. We
can't hear each other?
Yeah, I can't hear myself. If anyone is confused as to maybe why I'm screaming into the microphone, now I can hear myself, and we're on a different board tonight, so it's like, hello, I have no idea what the volume of my voice is.
It's my first time doing radio. I have no idea. And this isn't even radio, so this is really weird since I'm trying to do radio on the internet.
I'm like, I'm probably screaming. It'll be interesting for me to listen to that.
I think there's going to be a bunch of feedback from the music, too. It's going to be really fun. I think that's going to be a really fun beginning. I hope that didn't sound as bad as I think it might have. But
oh, no.
Hello. Anyway, here we are.
This is
Hi, guys.
Pubcast. I'm Molly Burke. I'm here with my co-host, Jason McGovern. Happy Valentine's Day week, or Galentine's week if you're a Parks and Rec fan. Or was that 30 Rock? No, that's Parks and Rec.
Is that Parks and Rec?
Galentine's?
I don't remember hearing that one.
Or, Alentine's A. I heard that one today. That's for people who aren't getting the V or the D.
So that one's appropriate for me. Perfect. I like that one. I like that one.
I don't know. Do you hate Valentine's Day, or are you like totally neutral on it?
I think I'm neutral because I only care about it when I have a girlfriend, and I only care about it for her. So the day itself means zero to me. Like, I don't care.
Okay, but it doesn't approach Valentine's Day when you're single, and you're not like, oh, woe is me. I'm single, and I don't have anyone to celebrate Valentine's Day with. Because that's kind of like a female, white girl bullshit right there. I spend
all 365 days a year doing that. So I don't just give it to Valentine's Day.
It doesn't amplify at all?
Okay, Saturday night. It helps that it's a Saturday night, first of all.
It does help.
Valentine's Day, I feel like, is usually on a Tuesday.
Or is it going to make it worse because everyone's not going to be out and you're going to be like, it's Saturday, I want to do something.
Funny you say that. Because I've actually, and I didn't even think about what day it was because I'm single, so it didn't even occur to me, but I put out a couple of messages to a couple of friends like, hey, what do you got going on Saturday night? Because that's the night I can usually go out because I don't work Sundays. And everybody's like, it's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day, man.
And I'm just like, fuck all of you. I hate all of you. And I am jealous in just that they have somebody to spend Valentine's Day with. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, like I said, the holiday itself is not a big deal to me. It means pretty much nothing to me.
I don't know.
What are you depressed? Are you?
Well, I mean,
do you care?
My friend, my good man friend. I feel like he's not really a Valentine's Day person anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that makes it worse. Like, knowing that someone's not a Valentine's Day person, that's just like, that's not really my jam either. Like, I'm not like a big romance person. Like, I want to just go hang out with someone. Like, I'd rather just go out and get drunk and party, right? But even
this is why we get along.
Right. I'd rather just be like, hey, I don't want dinner, or we'll like do some takeout or something, or cook something up quick, and then let's go drink and just like party, right? Like, that's what I want to do.
That's your dream Valentine's Day?
That would be my dream Valentine's Day, and I think it wouldn't even maybe occur to him to even like be like, yo, you want to go party? Like, it would just be another normal night.
See, now, if you have someone who would fill that role of Valentine in your life, I don't think you get to just not remember Valentine's Day. That's supposed to be something.
Oh, am I giving him a break?
I think you are.
Oh,
I think
totally
you really
giving him a break.
And it's, again, so in these little text messages to a friend of mine, one of them was to a gal, and she said, well, I'm going out on Valentine's Day. It's the first time I've been taken out in a long time. And I'm just like, hold on. You dated a guy.
That's her boyfriend.
And she has a new boyfriend, yeah.
Okay,
so I'm like, the last 6 months or something, let's say. But before that, I mean, she's been single I've known her for 3 years or so. She's been single for like 2 months out of that. Like, so she was always with a guy, and apparently, this guy she's with for years just didn't take her out on, and I don't know for sure, but obviously it sounds like he just didn't. Valentine's Day was not a thing. Like, they didn't have to go out on Valentine's Day.
I mean, I guess
I've never felt that when I had a girlfriend. Ever.
It's not a thing to me. Like, I don't want it to be a thing, but the reason why it's a thing is because I think everyone makes it a thing.
Well, Hallmark made it a thing.
I know, but
it's
you know
one
what
of those
I mean?
kind of holidays.
But comments like that, I'm not blaming you, because people are like, "Oh, you're giving him a break" or whatever, and it's like, but I don't even really want to do anything.
Right.
So,
it's
but
societal
now,
pressure.
Yeah, it's the pressure. I'm like, well, shit. Even though I don't really want to do anything, he should really be thinking about it because it is the day. Like, that would just be nice out of self-respect or human respect. And it's like, at least just a mention of it.
No, and I totally agree with what you're saying though too. Is that if you're cool with that, it's totally okay with him not. Like, it doesn't have to be. It's just a stupid fucking day that we made up. Like, that's all it is. But we have. Society has given it this. It's been brought up a level. It is a day that's considered special, and you're supposed to do something. And it's not even for your significant other. You're supposed to do something for your girlfriend. And I would really be interested.
Why I mean, I always think of it as a significant other thing. Like, I would get a man a Valentine's Day present. There's
not a guy out there, though, that's going to get mad if you don't. That's my point. But I'd be curious actually to talk to gay men. I wonder if I gotta talk to my boss. I gotta talk to my boss.
I gotta text a gay man in my phone.
I mean, I have gay friends, but I'm curious.
Text one of them. Let's see. Let's do it on the spot.
I'm really curious too, because and you tell me if you have a problem with this statement, but I generally find that most.
Wait, why would it matter for gay men though? I feel like we're making a big deal.
Well, that's what. Here, let me go to where I was going, and you tell me if this is just idiotic or not. But I have always. At least I think I've noticed that usually most gay couples, at least men, I don't know many lesbians, but men, it's one of them is more feminine than the other, right? Is that a false statement, or is that a broad generalization?
I think that's a broad generalization.
But is it semi-true at least? I
mean, no,
I think that's stereotypical. You think that's just a total stereotype? Because most stereotypes are there for a reason, you know?
No, I mean, I think that's kind of a stereotype.
So you think there are gay couples out there, gay male couples out there, that both of them are just as masculine or both of them are just as feminine?
Sure, definitely.
Okay. I think I've never come across
them before.
Okay.
I've met them before, where I'm like, I don't know.
So that makes it more interesting then. I wonder then. So I would imagine, again, stereotypical, but I would imagine then that the more feminine would be more offended by not having this be a special day, and where the more masculine would be, who gives a shit. I wonder, though, that I think that you might have a completely different view on it from the gay community.
It just becomes all equal like it should be, and they both get each other something special or go do something special together.
Well, let the chauvinist in me come out a little. I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of for the girls' day when it comes to heterosexual couples. I don't think that there's a problem that it's not about the guy, that it is just about doing something special for the woman. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's okay. You get one day a year.
I just don't. To me, like. That whole like princess factor comes out then, where it's like, oh no, he needs to treat me like my man needs to treat me. He needs to give me flowers and he needs to bring me out, and it's like, God, fucking shut up. Like I want to show someone that I appreciate them just as much as they appreciate me. It needs to be an equal thing.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Not disagreeing with you. I think that's cool. I think that's actually super respectable. But I don't have a problem with the little chivalry, though. And a little, just a little, hey, I get her a dozen roses and bring her up for dinner kind of thing. Like,
no, there is nothing wrong with it. Totally. I think that when women act like everything should be given to them and there should be nothing given in return, I think is a little strange. Then you get a little princessy, as I call it.
Okay.
I like that. I like that word.
Princessy. No, I like that. That's a good term. I knew exactly what you meant as soon as you said it. I knew exactly what it was. That, and even the voice. You have to do this for me. Like, there's a certain connotation to it. There's a certain thing where you're supposed to be taken care of in a certain way, and that can be almost condescending, actually, a little bit with the princess factor. I get what you're saying.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Since we're kind of on that topic, let's do the real quick. Did she do it on purpose? And then we'll get into the show. But this one I have to bring up with you because it's just fun, and I think, and I want to get your take on this too. But I think we should get. Are you a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan?
Yes.
I think we maybe should get the dun 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 dun, dun, the theme music as the theme for this segment. Because I feel like
I could just do it.
Well, we can maybe do that too. But I feel like I'm like Larry David trying to analyze the stupidity of life, that like these inane things that I should just let go, that I make into a big deal, So I think that's why maybe it would fit. But okay, so here's the latest. Did she do it on purpose? Dated a girl just a few times last year. It was always good. Like, we had a few dates; they were great. It was moving along, and then like her birthday came along, and she went out of town for a weekend or something. Or a week, I think. And I sent her flowers the day she got back from vacation, to as a happy birthday present. Basically, and then sent her a text 2 days later, hey, when do you want to get together next? And it was I got the text I don't think this is gonna work.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
and with no, like, there wasn't, like, we didn't have, like, a awkward conversation at a date or anything. There was, like, no real reason. And the reason is she ended up dating somebody at her work. Like,
Okay.
So, now, this girl has been into where I work at Moe's. I mean, we talked about that. So, down at Burger Moe's. Speaking of which, we should tell you where we are right now. We're at O'Gara's in St. Paul. Our steadfast sponsor.
Irish sponsor.
An Irish sponsor, which as a McGovern I can appreciate, of course.
Uh-huh.
So this gal knows where I work. She's been into my work while I'm working. I've served her with like her group of work friends and stuff before. Have not seen her since this little I honestly don't think I've even seen her since we stopped going out.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, I'd say, she comes in to Moe's to work and sits with a party of people, and it's her coworkers again. Like, I've seen this group of people, and it's her birthday, or it's like 2 days before her birthday, but they're going out to celebrate her birthday. And I, of course, get the fucking straw where they sit in my section, so I'm serving them. And it's cool. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing? She's super sweet. Like, hey, how are you? It's really nice to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, hey, it's my birthday. Like, I don't remember how that got mentioned, but it just blah, blah, blah. And I didn't, I never, hung out at the table or anything. But I would just, hey, can I get you anything? And I would call her by name, because I know her. And so that happened. And then this is why I think this is Larry David, because you're gonna laugh at how retarded I am.
Okay,
and I hate using that word. I don't mean that. But you know,
stupid.
Yes. So we get that, and then even before she, at one point in the night, she even kind of came up to me and kind of grabbed my arm, it's so nice to see you, or something like that. Kind of made it awkward. And then of course her boyfriend shows up an hour and a half, 2 hours in, and then sits next to her, and I can obviously tell it's her boyfriend. I even at one point I'm oh, is that the new guy? Oh yeah, blah blah. Okay. So that's all aside. I think that's weird that she came into my work for her birthday, but we can leave that aside. Now we're gonna get into the minutia. Trivia crack. Do you play it, first of all?
I have played it, yes.
Okay, so for those that don't know, it's probably one of the most popular apps out there right now, Trivia Crack. It's just like trivia at the bar or whatever. You pick an answer or whatever. And you can play all your Facebook friends or whomever you'd like, whoever you have in your contacts. And so one day I started a game with her. What the hell?
You started the game.
I started the game, okay? God, I'm laughing at myself. But, and it gets to 5-5, which, by the way, you have to get to 6 and then you win. Go play the game. Go download the damn app. It's free.
Oh my God!
But anyway, this is funny. This is why I want to see what. I can't wait to hear what you think of this. I hope if you tell me I'm just nuts, I'll never bring this up again.
Okay, get to it.
The game ends. Okay. Totally, and I'm just all right. Never talk to her again. Because it just ended at 5-5. She didn't respond. Right. She started a new one. Is she doing this on purpose? That's the question.
Oh my God.
And that's the reaction I'm looking for, by the way.
Jason,
I'm not expecting you to be no, you're completely...
You started the game.
But I let it go.
It was
over.
Started the game.
She brought it back. No, that's not even the point.
Oh,
what do you think
God.
of... Would you go to a guy you dated's work for your birthday with a bunch of work
Does she
friends?
even remember that you're a server there?
Yes.
Okay.
I guarantee you that was... there was no surprise that I was there.
Would I go? I don't know. If I really like the restaurant, sure. I don't really... sure, I'd go. Why not? Show with all my friends and my boyfriend, and I'm looking cute, and I'm like, hi, how are you? Sure, why?
Super cute.
Why not?
What do you mean? Why? I just think that's weird that you I would not
because
go
if I
to
liked
an
the
ex-girlfriend's work, and it's not. She hasn't been in a year.
Okay.
I'm there 5 days a week. She hasn't been in it. That's the only part that I find weird about it. It's just that you haven't been in there forever, and you come in on your birthday. I don't know. I just thought that was odd. So you're obviously going with, and I think the unanimous answer so far in this question has always been.
I mean, I think you're overthinking it.
On the did she do it on purpose? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're overthinking it. I think maybe she showed up because it sounded fun and someone suggested it, and then she was like, whatever, Jason works there, and she'll be like, I'll look cute and I'll be with my boyfriend and my friends, and that's just another plus of
It could have very easily been a guy she's barely even acquainted with that said, hey, Burger Moe's has got a good happy hour or something.
Right.
Absolutely. It could have been that. But that's why I'm always just trying to see if there's a little more, if I'm missing something. That's all
and you started the damn game. It'd be one thing if she like showed up to your work and was like trying to make you jealous, and then she started the game and she was like still connecting with you over social media, and it was like, well, you know, like I'm not gonna end it because I like the attention from him or whatever. I'm gonna see if he like, you know, asks me if I still have a boyfriend, like that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. Like people just like to continue the contact and the conversation, even in the most minute way, because it makes them feel better or something.
Because they like attention.
Because they're like, oh, this person's responding to me. They still like me.
They like
attention. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. No, and I think that's a human. I mean, that's a human trait. I'm not giving her or anybody else shit for that.
I still have guys I used to date that will like still go onto my Instagram, and they'll still like my shit and like comment on it. And I'm like, dude, like you broke up with me. Like there's this guy I dated like 3 years ago, and he'll still go on my Instagram, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what do you do? Why are you on my Instagram, and why are you looking? And he'll be like, you're funny. And I'm like, you broke up with me.
Instagram is so creeper for that. And especially...
It's so weird.
How often, and just in general, actually, not necessarily just ex-boyfriend, but if a guy likes a picture from, like, a year ago, does that make you go, he's creeping my
no,
feed?
I mean, I'm like, oh, well,
or is that creeper
at
all?
I don't think it's creepy. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he was looking at, that type of thing. I mean,
what about
out
Facebook?
there?
If you have a Facebook picture you put up a year ago and you get a like on it, isn't that a little weird?
Sure.
I feel like that's weird.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. There's so many different ways that things can pop up on people's feeds now, but yeah, I don't know.
Where else have
really
you had
it.
like ex-boyfriends popping up out of nowhere on social media? Just Instagram or?
Yeah. I just have people kind of stay in contact with me, I guess, in certain ways.
I just feel like Instagram is the most passive of the social media.
Yeah.
So it's like your way to stay connected, but not stay connected.
Right.
Which to me is more creepy almost.
But I can't handle. I stop. Like if I'm having a hard time with a relationship, like I'm getting out of it, I need to stop following. I will stop following you and everything. I'm not kidding.
No, I
will.
believe you.
And I've told people that, like, when I'm like, I cannot see you in every fucking aspect of my life. Like, I just want to go on and enjoy my Instagram without having to know what you're doing.
Yes.
And people like that drama. I'm like, how do you enjoy that? Like, how do you enjoy seeing the person that you broke up with or that broke up with you? How do you enjoy seeing their stuff? That would make me miserable.
Especially because you're usually seeing them out with somebody new.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's never fun. Never fun.
I don't even want the chance to know if they're out with somebody new. Like, I don't want to know anything. I want to be left in the complete and utter fucking dark. So that I can move on.
I am in complete agreement. I am blessed with my last two, serious girlfriends. One's not on social media at all,
thank God.
And the other one is barely on social media. Like it's fantastic. I never have to sit and just
That's
dwell.
good.
I mean, I dwell on them anyway, but no. Anyway, so okay, let's have some fun. The SNL 40th anniversary is coming up. That's this weekend, right? That's this
Saturday.
and Saturday, like through the night. Because the little
like
breakdown.
3 hours.
But yeah, but the little breakdown that I saw, I mean, I get it, but it said like Saturday night from this time to this time, and then Sunday morning from this time to this time. But yeah, so it goes for like 4 hours, and it's going to be a bunch of like. What do you know about it? I know obviously they're bringing a bunch of people back.
It's 15 cast members from the past, and I don't think they've revealed the people, but it's obviously kind of the biggest people from the past.
Well, Eddie Murphy is obviously known because he's the host.
Okay, so he's the host, and then Paul McCartney is definitely going to be there, I think. It's one of the musical guests.
Yep.
Or in the skits, which would be great. I mean, I think they'll just bring back the biggest guys. I haven't read much about it, but, man, if I'm not out drinking, I'll definitely tune in.
Well, and that's something where I will go back and see it
Go back and watch it.
And actually... That's Valentine's Day night. Maybe I'll just stay home by myself.
Maybe you'll just stay home.
Maybe get myself a bottle of red wine. And, no. I mean, I really probably will actually stay home and watch it. That'd be fun. But, okay, so I want to just get your take.
I'll invite you over, Jason.
Aw. I want to get your take on Saturday Night Live in general. Because, and I'll give you mine, and then you tell me whatever you think of this. But I think that it's a show. Because I think that we look at it with nostalgia, that we go, in the 70s and the 80s, it was so good.
Yeah.
You had Aykroyd and Murray and so many people in the back in the day. And then you had that resurgence where you had Sandler and Chris Farley and some of the greats of the modern era, quote unquote, I guess.
Will Ferrell.
Yes, absolutely. And I would say that in general, it's like everything with me, with music, with movies. In general, Saturday Night Live sucks. 90% of every show, and I used to think that it was 90% of the shows that I had watched during my lifetime sucked. But no, I think you actually, and you can go back and watch those older episodes. What Saturday Night Live does, and I do love it, but what they do is they crush 2 or 3 bits a show. And then usually the Weekend Update has some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's pretty bad. But that's okay, because you need to have all of that in order to get the good out of it, right? Or what do you think of that take?
I mean, no, I agree, because it's kind of an institution, right? It's like every big comic, most big comics, what do? They start at Groundlings, they start at Second City, and then they either go into stand-up or they make their way and they somehow get an audition in front of Lorne, and everyone has their Lorne story if they're a comedian, and so SNL I don't think should go away. I think it's still relevant. I think it's still funny, but yeah, there's something about I don't know, because there's so many funny people out there nowadays. Like, I don't think we're losing valuable comedians or good comedians, but there is something missing, and I have to go back and watch like the ones from the 70s and the 80s or whatever, and get a sense if every single thing was funny on there, or if it was like it is now, and they had like these like couple skits that just killed it and laugh your ass off, and the rest you're kind of like, okay, well, that wasn't Aykroyd's best, but whatever, right. Like maybe next time. I don't know, because I still laugh at a lot of it, but then some of it makes me really uncomfortable, and I'm like, oh, I can't even watch this. And that's why that's why SNL is still, even today, it's still especially relevant, because you get these good clips, right? You can go on later and you can handpick the ones that you want to watch.
Yep.
And then you can get rid of the other shit. So I wait until I know that there's like a really funny clip that people are sharing that's kind of going viral, click on it, watch it, get my laugh, and then I ignore the rest of the show, because I'm like, oh god, it's so painfully like not funny.
See, I think there's something to sitting through an episode of it, though.
There totally is. I mean, I haven't,
because it's that feeling you get when the bit sucks, where you're almost like, ooh, like you feel badly for him almost.
Right.
You're like, guys, this is bombing.
Like,
stop,
this sucks. Like, just get off the stage.
But I do think there's something to where that makes the next skit, when it is good, or even if it's not that good, that much better. Like, the context of which the bad skits provide the rest of it, I think, are important. And I think that, like you just said, like, maybe that wasn't Dan Aykroyd's best skit. Like, doesn't Dan Aykroyd have to fail a bit to get the good ones? Like, doesn't he have to come up with that horrible one that he goes, what the hell was I thinking, to get, Coneheads? Like,
yeah, I think
that is how it works, maybe.
But at the same time, I think about SNL as, like, like I said, everyone gets in front of Lorne. All the big guys get in front of Lorne.
How dare you? No, I'm sorry. She needs something, though.
Could I have a cider, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
All good.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thanks. Just getting me a Magners. But that's, how many people you audition for SNL, I bet, and how many hours of shitty auditions is Lorne sitting through, and they're handpicking the best people in comedy, right? And the best writers in comedy, and that's historically been accurate, and I think still today probably is. I think there's some really talented people on it currently. So why are there still bombs like that? I don't, like, I think if that is your job, you should be funny all the time. Like, most of the big people out there, big stand-ups that are selling out shows, they don't have part of their stand-up that bombs. They bomb back at, like, the little open mic night bullshit until they get on their feet, and it's in front of smaller audiences, they bomb and they learn how to get on their feet. You shouldn't be bombing on SNL.
Okay, I agree with you, and I disagree with you, I think, because the comic who's on the road every week and is establishing themselves and building their bit and building their hour worth of stuff, that is, I mean, they're doing that same thing over and over and over and over and over in different locations. So they're perfecting it, where as SNL is, you get that one night. Once a week, here it is, which is what makes it cool. But it also, what I don't understand is that SNL always has that one character at least, or not character, but guy, or girl, where you're going, this person's not funny at all.
Right.
How are they on here? The example that I would provide these days, and I don't even know his name, which probably says a lot about it, but is the chubby black guy now that always plays the over-the-top role. Like, you got the big eyes. Why can't I think of his name right now? Keenan, what's his last name?
Not Keenan Thompson?
Maybe it is Keenan Thompson.
He's been around for forever.
For like 8-10 years now or
Do you
something.
know that Keenan's
he's the least funny person in the world.
He's the longest running SNL cast member of all time. I swear to God.
That makes me want to bash my head to the table.
But
you know why, though?
Kenan Thompson.
Hold on. Maybe this is perfect. Maybe he's the longest running because he can't get to that next step. Anybody like him who's been doing it that long gets the Adam Sandler and gets the next movie. And he's stuck.
I don't know.
It's a good place to be stuck, by the way. Really nice place to be stuck.
I was on. I kind of like Keenan, but I grew up with Kenan Thompson on Nickelodeon.
What did he do?
He was on Kenan and Kel.
Oh,
and Kenan and Kel was
I vaguely remember that. I don't.
That was like my jam.
Know Nick from those days.
And then Good Burger. Remember, like, welcome to Good Burger home. Thank you. Can I take your order? Okay, I'm taking a sip because I'm thirsty.
And I'm over here chatting up with the
cute waitress.
You said it.
So Kenan and Kel, Good Burger, and now he's been on SNL for a long time.
Yes,
and Good
that's
Burger,
the other thing he's known for, which I never saw. So
he's not like, I wouldn't go like pay to see him do stand up, but I think he's funny.
Pay to see him do?
Pay to see him on SNL.
Okay, which you don't. It's free.
I've never seen a stand up. Maybe he's not a stand up.
He's so filler. Like he's okay.
Have you ever seen the What's Up With That skit?
I think
he plays the What's Up With That. It's like
that's
very super funny.
I find that one funny. But I just overall, I feel like there was always, even like in the 90s when I was big into the show, when Mike Myers and Dana Carvey and all those guys are around, I feel like there was always at least one cast member where you're just like, Lauren,
sure.
What's wrong with you?
For sure. I mean, there are plenty of people that get fired after a season or two, and you don't see them again, and there's a reason for that, But I don't know. I kind of like it. Keenan's like the reactionary guy. He's like the one where like someone else does something ridiculous and he just does his like, whoa.
That's true. He does have he's good at facial expressions.
He has good facial expressions.
Do you have a favorite bit? Just that comes to mind. I mean, there's
right
a lot
now,
of
like the current.
No,
bit?
I'm just saying all time in SNL. Do you have one bit that sticks out above, head and shoulders above the others?
Oh shit! There are so many good ones.
And I'm really putting you on the spot because I actually had to go kind of look at
I
some
know,
to
I
get
know.
there. So if you don't have one, I totally understand.
This probably what I consistently think is funny. I don't know if it's my favorite of all time, but anytime that they do a good celebrity impression skit, whether it's like Celebrity Jeopardy or they have a newer game show now where the new cast members now kind of have their impressions nailed down, or they have a really good one out there where like there's Beyonce and Jay-Z doing the impressions of them, and then like Justin Timberlake's Bon Iver, and there's a Prince.
Justin Timberlake's Bon Iver is
perfect.
One of my favorite things of all time.
So that when people can do really awesome impressions, that to me is consistently funny. I don't know if like overall that's my favorite, but I love a good impression skit, and they're killing it with impressions right now. So I think they should kind of stick to that.
And by the way, just side note, I am completely okay with those impressions where the guy doesn't look like him, and it's just about nailing that voice and tone and their personality. Yeah, you don't have to look just like them, and they've realized that very well. But more cowbell. Where does that sit on your list of
Will Ferrell?
picks?
I don't know. He's such a goof. Will Ferrell's not one of my favorite actors. He's not one of my favorite comedians, but he always makes me chuckle.
I love him.
That's
in
how
that
I feel,
bit.
though.
I love him in that type of. That is exactly where he belongs.
Know. He
being
needs
goofy, but he's not the whole shtick.
Yeah.
He was just part of the shtick.
He's not as physical as Chris Farley, but he does need to be a little more physical.
Yes.
Because, and he just needs to do like something just straight up fucking wacky. Because that's where he goes.
It's funny you say that physical too, because even in like Wedding Crashers, when he yells at his mom for the meatloaf, even that is physical.
And he's like sitting there,
like just freaking out, and his whole body is moving.
He sounded like a crow.
He didn't caw, but but no, everything about him, and then the more cowbells. I mean, he's got the little shirt that's showing his gut sticking out, and he's just literally banging on a cowbell for an entire 3-minute bit. And what makes that bit is obviously. Jimmy Fallon, who, by the way, I was not a big Jimmy Fallon fan on SNL because, and this bit is the epitome of it. He's laughing the entire time. He cannot keep it together.
No.
Ever. I'm surprised he's ever done a movie.
He can't.
I mean, how many takes does every scene he's ever done in a movie take? Because and I appreciate it, though, too, because he's cracking up, which is cool. Like, he's into it that much that he's cracking up. But then Christopher Walken with, I mean, just the I got a fever and the only cure is more cowbell. I mean, like, there's nothing more fun than that bit for me on SNL.
What were your favorites? Did you have them listed?
No, I mean, I have that. What else was in that one that I was watching?
To go way back to, like, Eddie Murphy days.
Yeah, well, okay, one of the bits, and I think it's cheeseburger was the word, but they're in a Greek restaurant, and it's Belushi, Murray,
See,
and
like
Aykroyd.
those guys,
Like,
it's just
just
crazy.
saying that, isn't that crazy?
You don't get that anymore.
But those guys working a counter in a restaurant, and the people would order whatever they'd want, and they'd just be like, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. They got cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. Like, and it was just, you can't have anything but a cheeseburger. And the bit, and that's what I love about SNL too, is like that bit from afar is stupid as hell.
So dumb.
But those guys are so funny that it's just, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
So I have a love-hate relationship with SNL because like I said, I think most of it sucks. But every single week, there's at least that one bit that's got you rolling.
Yeah.
And it makes it worth it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. And, who knows what will come of it. I hope it stays around. I don't think that I think it should stay around. I think it's where kind of a lot of comedy stems from. But it'll be interesting to see when Lauren's no longer there, and that'll be fascinating to me. So I don't know if it could continue without Lauren.
I was gonna say, don't you just can't you just retire it and let it die with Lauren? And hopefully not literally, but I mean when Lauren's done, let it be done. Like just let it. Unless maybe he's got a successor that can do it.
I don't know.
Could what's her name? 30 Rock and
Tina Fey. Have you watched Mean Girls yet?
I was
because we're sitting here talking about SNL. We're talking about Tina Fey, who wrote it. We're talking about Tim Meadows, who's in it. We're talking about Anna Gasteyer, who's in it. So many good people from SNL. Well, the mediocre people from SNL are in it.
I fell asleep an hour into it.
Anna Gasteyer is funny. I like her, and Tim Meadows is pretty funny too. They're all good. You fell asleep about an hour into it?
Would you be offended if I? Okay, I don't think that. Jesus Christ, what's the Bridesmaids? I don't feel that Bridesmaids is a chick flick in any way.
No.
I feel like Mean Girls is way more of a chick flick. It
I
doesn't
don't
have to
think
be
so.
just a chick flick. And actually, do you know what it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Mean Girls?
Yeah.
No.
I looked it up today or yesterday just because I was curious. Critics rating is like 83, which is pretty damn good, especially for a comedy. But I was shocked to see that the user score was 63.
Yeah, that's
like I would have thought a lot of people that watched it loved it, and then the critics would have been like, it's a comedy. Like they always discount
I thought it was so funny.
And then I promise you, I am going to watch it through its entirety. But I watched it I threw it on at like midnight one night and fell asleep an hour.
God,
into it.
what the fuck, Jason?
But honestly, I'm watching it.
You have the easiest assignment ever. I still have to watch Birdman and like all these ridiculously complicated movies, and all you have to do is put on Mean Girls.
Well, and I'm watching it because I do respect your opinion. Like we've talked about a lot of different music, movies, all kinds of things, and I like your take on stuff. So, in watching it, it wasn't like I put it on and went, "Holy Molly's fucking out to lunch!" Like what an idiot. But I would just watch it and I'm like, "Yeah, this is fun." Like I get it. Like I get that you like it, but I'm also going, all right, come on, do something for me. So, but again, I was tired and I watched it late night, so I got to give it its
just
real
like the
due.
beginning of it about the homeschooled kids is funny. Like the first lines where she's like, "I'm homeschooled," and then it goes into like all the different types of homeschool kids. Like that's hilarious.
I will
won't
give it
talk
its
about
full
it
due.
anymore.
I promise. I promise
watch
I will.
it. Just watch it.
34 minutes just flew the fuck by. But we're going to take a quick break. Be right back with the Minnesota Pubcast.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com. The Rusty Gatenby Review is the entertaining show about entertainment from movies, music, and more. Award-winning TV guy Rusty Gatenby and his review is the podcast with the biggest cast in entertainment, part of the Alive and Social Network. You can get that Minnesota connection to Hollywood and beyond any time of the day or night simply by clicking on the RustyGatenbyReview.com. That's the RustyGatenbyReview.com, part of the Alive and Social Network.
We're not even to the best part of the song yet. We're still like, I asked you to play one song, and that is where you couldn't even cue it up at the right spot.
No, absolutely not. That I love the beginning of that song. What do you
but then you have to at least get to the part where like the best guitar riff of all time. Can we stop my mic for a second and put this back on for a minute?
No, actually we can't because SoundCloud keeps yelling at us for playing music too long.
What are you talking about, SoundCloud?
I don't know who the hell they are, but they are all over us about our playing music.
No, you're lying.
Which, I swear to God. And by the way, when I did radio for years, and you are not allowed on talk radio stations to play music for over a certain amount of time by itself. If you're talking over it, it's just part of your show.
Can we talk over it then?
It doesn't realize we're talking over it. That's what I mean. Like the system that's monitoring us is fucking with us. But here, hold on. I will.
God, I'm just.
I want to see. I'm gonna bring.
Couldn't even cue it, Jay. Just the best, one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time.
By the way, you can always mention where you want it to start.
The most recognizable part of the song, maybe. God.
You mean like here? All right, now we're getting in trouble.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is actually a great
Going
tune.
crazy on you.
I don't think about Heart very often.
No, I don't
they just
either.
Never even come to my mind. But my dad rocked the shit out of Heart my entire
that's
childhood.
So badass.
I swear.
The reason why I thought of Heart, not because of Valentine's Day, but it is kind of like a fun, badass Valentine's Week song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Current, I think it was the Decemberists or somebody really weird like that. I have to check into it when they were in Minneapolis. That's how they ended their show, with this really sweet version of Crazy on You. And I was like, and then they played it on The Current. I was like, whoa, that was so cool. I love that song. So I listened to it, and then it reminded me of the Virgin Suicides, which is a whole different story. Because that movie was just, Josh Hartnett's in that movie.
What?
Minnesota Boy.
How old is that?
Virgin Suicides?
I feel like I have seen
Probably
it,
mid-90s.
No, I'm thinking Suicide Kings.
Yeah.
Virgin Suicide. I don't think I've ever
With
seen it.
Kirsten Dunst. It's based on a novel. It's real fucked up.
I like fucked up.
Yeah, you would like
I'll check
it.
that out.
It's pretty weird. But it's a good Josh Hartnett, Kirsten Dunst flick. Not by any means a rom-com. It's really dark.
Sure.
And I think Kirsten Dunst is a really underrated actress. By the way,
Kirsten Dunst? Yeah. I've never
really
had a problem
good.
with her. I mean, I think she's picked bad roles, like
No, she's
Spider-Man and
picked
shit.
great.
Like,
She's
I mean, she
picked
makes
good
tons of money
roles.
off of that, but she's a better actress than that.
She's
You know
been
what I
in
mean?
lots
Like
of
that
good
role's
indie
not good
flicks.
enough for her.
Melancholia, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's one of the best movies.
Drop Dead Gorgeous. Great movie, which you still haven't seen. That's a Minnesota comedy. You have to see it.
I do.
It's perfect. And then she's going to be in Fargo, so it was a good... she got used to the whole Minnesota accent with Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Okay, so another brilliant segue. We have to just really quickly at least talk about new TV shows that are coming out here.
Yeah.
Have you got your PS3 fixed?
No.
Do you have access to HBO Go and whatnot?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you watched Togetherness yet?
No, I saw bad reviews. Still finishing. I got to the end of season 3 on The Wire. That blew my mind. Oh my God, I won't say anything for anyone who's never seen The Wire.
So jealous.
But you know what
that
death
you're
I'm
only
talking
at
about.
Season 3 right now. God.
Last time I was like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to kill him. They're not going to kill him. They're not going to kill him. And then they shoot him, and I was like, oh.
I honestly, I'm
calm down.
so jealous of all of you who have not seen The Wire yet. Like, you never get to do it again. You never get to see it for the first time again. It's like
That's
Breaking
true.
Bad. Like, you never get to go through that again.
I'm having a pretty special moment with it. with Avon and Omar and Stringer. Omar is just my favorite character. One of my favorite characters probably in a TV show ever, I think. Omar.
He what?
He's one of my favorite characters in a TV show ever.
Yeah. And he's been in other things, too, since, but he'll never be able to recreate that
He's
role.
so good.
But, okay, so Togetherness. Now, first of all, I read a review the other day that was bashing it. So, again, like another negative review. But it was also trying to bash Parenthood, Community, like a couple of these other...
The white suburbia
Exactly.
sitcoms.
And the whole point was it was saying, look at all these white people with their rich problems. Go fuck yourselves. Like, that's basically what this review that I read was.
In your, whatever those are called, those houses. What are those called? craftsman style homes. They all live in craftsman homes with the dog, and you know.
No, and togetherness is, I mean, it's one of the guys from the league with a wife and kids, and they're living, you know, in California, a nice neighborhood. They're kind. A lot of people would say they're rich. I mean, a lot of people would call them rich to live where they are in a house like that. You kind of have to be. And the whole point though was saying, like, what do they know about struggle? Like, what even is the struggle here? It's a bunch of rich people with their rich people problems. The thing that, and I brought this up on Debate Show the other day, but we all think our life is a struggle, no matter what. Like, Bill Gates is like, fuck, tomorrow's gonna be rough. Like, maybe he's not, but he could at least still look at life that way, like going, wow, tomorrow's still gonna be a struggle. It's not about where you are monetarily.
Well,
it means whether or not you struggle.
I mean, I think when you take the money out as a factor of issue, things become simpler, right? A certain weight is lifted off your shoulders. But that doesn't mean that life is happily ever after and things don't go wrong, and you're not, and you aren't. People are still allowed to feel sadness and depression and frustration and grief or whatever it is. It's just one aspect of life that thankfully has been taken away. One issue of life that's been, you know, mostly lifted. But that being said, I kind of struggle with this because if you're rich and white, like I am.
Right. Like, I mean, we've come from rich white backgrounds, more or less. So.
Exactly. I mean, pretty much. I mean, so you have to, my goal every day is to, now I'm going to get really philosophical here and stop me, but you just have to remain grateful, right? Like, you have to kind of keep yourself, and like, you have to remember where you came from. You have to be thankful for that. You have to be grateful. You have to work hard because you were given all these opportunities. But that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel like fucking shit sometimes, and you're not allowed to, and you know, and you're allowed to complain, and you should be allowed to vent. And so I have a hard time with white guilt because I don't ever want anyone to feel like they need to push down their feelings because of where they're from.
Yeah.
You can remain grateful.
Being told to
you can remain. Sometimes I kind of agree.
And as a white male who has not had a whole lot of struggle in my life, when people do talk shit, I kind of go, okay, like I get it.
Yeah, you're like,
you know
all right, back off.
I don't just
back
fight
off.
back and go, no, I get every right to complain.
I get it. I get it too.
No, but that's the thing, and I think that this is part of the human plight. This is what human life is that you can have everything that you think life is about. The money, the two kids, the 1.5 dogs, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. The nuclear family.
The 1.5 children. One of them sucks.
Right. Well, the half one. But you know, so you can have what you consider the quote unquote perfect life, and that can be even more stressful than being single and alone and poor, if your mind state is in a certain place. You know what I mean? Like it's all about perspective.
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard and really unnecessary to compare obstacles and to compare challenges. I mean, I think, you know, you should always keep a sense of where you're from and be grateful for the things, but I see people that are from like the worst situations ever, like in Sudan or whatever, and they are the most grateful people ever. And I'm like, man, like that's how, you know, you should always be grateful and you should always be optimistic, but it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to complain, right?
Right. And a buddy of mine, you know, when back in the day when I would get depressed over like an ex-girlfriend or something, he would, and he wouldn't be a dick about it, like he would relate, but he'd say, look, you got both of your legs, right?
Yeah.
Like, think there's always someone who has it way worse than you.
Totally.
But again, though, that doesn't just mean I can go, yeah, I got both my legs, I'm golden. Like, no, I still look at my life as a struggle. And my whole point of this, and I think you agree, is just everyone at least looks at life as a struggle. No one is just going, oh, yeah, this is golden, I'm good. Like,
it's hard.
I don't think I know anyone who is just...
I know a few people.
But like, even the people that I know that are successful and happy aren't as successful or as happy as they'd like to be, right? Like, doesn't that have to be part of the human condition too, or you would give up? You would just be like, oh, I'm good, and then stop. Like, I think you need that fire to keep that furnace going your entire life. That has to be there.
Sure,
that
absolutely.
Want for more or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, contentment is scary in like some ways because it makes you apathetic to a lot of different things, and it makes you a little ignorant. But you know, when you care, I think that just shows that you want something better and you want something more. But I don't know. It's all difficult, man. It's so hard. I'm trying to put it into words, but I don't know.
I don't know what more you can do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Life is hard, dude. Life is so.
Wait, speaking of which, your notes today on
I had too much to
we have a
drink.
little we do prep on this show, believe it or not, and we have a subject usually, and Molly today, her subject for 2 of her stories were life, man.
That's kind of how I feel.
When I read it, I'm like, I get it. Totally.
Well, I had a beer at lunch, and then I had a glass of red wine after at my work, and
God, I
then
want your job.
I don't. It's not normally like this. I normally stay fairly sober when I'm writing, for the basis of doing good writing.
Fairly.
But I get it. 2 drinks in me, and I just start to ponder.
Now that sounds good for writing.
And I'm really warm right now. It's like when you get really hot and you just can't think. I'm just really warm.
I wish this was on YouTube.
It's warm in here.
So you guys can see Molly squirm in her shirt over there.
But anyway, I think the takeaway from all this is remain grateful, you guys. Be thankful for what you have. But it's okay. It's okay if you feel shitty. Recognize that too. That's all right.
And it's okay if you do have quote unquote everything to still feel shitty. I think that is okay. So the whole point of talking about any of this is that we were talking about some new TV shows coming out. Better Call Saul just came out. Now we're both Breaking Bad fans. Have you read anything about it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard good things.
I have too, but I think it's kind of. I was surprised to hear the premise, which is Saul way pre Breaking Bad, which obviously we all kind of knew that it was a prequel type thing, but that he at this point, or when it starts, is kind of like in Breaking Bad, the star. Why can't I think of his name right now? Cranston, but what's his name in the show?
Walter White.
Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman. WW. Anybody who hasn't seen the show, you'll get it. But no, so you start that show. Okay, Breaking Bad, the whole premise is you take a guy that's a very good guy and then turn him into the craziest drug dealer of all time. Now you're taking a want to do well lawyer, like obviously not, he's going to be struggling, like you can already picture he's going to be poor and not good at it yet, but he's supposedly still supposed to be kind of a good guy, like he's supposed to be.
I always thought Saul had a good bone in his body.
Agreed, but he was sleazy as shit. Like you knew, and what I think is interesting is he's not sleazy yet. From what I read about the show, like in Better Call Saul, he's not sleazy yet, and so
that's the arc, right?
Right, but exactly. So isn't that just setting up another similar arc, which, of course, the writer is smart enough to not do. Like, he's not just going to make another Breaking Bad with a lawyer. But I'm curious to see, so what do you do to vary this little arc?
Well, I mean, I don't think Saul ever was as bad as Walter.
No, absolutely not. Never
Why
as
does that
bad.
sound weird to call him Walter?
That was a little weird.
Is that his name?
No one ever called him Walter on the show. It was always Walt, I think.
Walt or Mr. White.
Or Heisenberg.
I'm going to call him Mr. White.
I like Mr. White.
And I don't think he ever could be as bad as Mr. White. I don't think that's possible. And so I think that this show, I think you're going to see him on an arc and he gets kind of deeper into shit and he kind of always talks his way out of it, kind of like Walt did.
Yeah.
But I think he kind of turns into, as Jesse called it, a criminal lawyer. Mm-hmm. I like that line.
Yes.
That's what Jesse said. You don't want a criminal lawyer. You want a criminal lawyer.
Right.
And I think it's going to be funner. I think it's going to be more lighthearted. Funner's not a word, but I think it's going to be funnier. I think it's going to be more fun. I think it's going to be have its dark moments probably, but I don't ever see Saul turning into this like really deep, dark person like Walt does, and I think that's how they're going to differentiate.
And don't you see more comedy?
Yeah, totally.
He's just a comedic actor, first of all. I mean, that's his background, and he's good at it.
Bob.
And he's also, I think, just his character is funny.
Yeah. Saul was funny.
Yeah, and as he gets dirtier and dirtier, trying not to be dirty is going to be funny. Like
totally.
That'll be great. So I'm looking forward to that.
Once we tune in.
Once we finally see the fucking show. No, and I actually tried to go and just check like if it's on Amazon or anything, just to see if maybe this can be one of those shows you can watch as it goes.
You can watch it on AMC right now.
AMC already has it? Okay.
Well, you can watch it on AMC. If you don't have AMC subscribed, you can watch it for free right now for the next like 20 days or something. You don't even need to log in. That's what I'm saying.
But you have to have cable, you mean?
No, you can go on AMC.com.
Oh, okay.
And you
Then
can click on it, and you can
I
say
will absolutely do that. Then.
for free. It says for free or whatever.
I will check that out.
For free.
For free.
F-U-R, for free.
Or F-E-R, something.
For free.
F-I-R. All right, so there's one more show that's coming out, and I don't even necessarily care about this show, but I like this idea. Daredevil is going to come out on Netflix. Now, Daredevil is my least favorite superhero probably ever.
You mean the one that Ben Affleck was?
And he's why.
Okay.
I think that they made that movie so poorly that you just ruined that character. But he's just not a great superhero. Yeah,
it's a dumb name.
Yeah, that too. But I love
is it
that
a Marvel?
Netflix is doing it. Yes, it is. And I want to see them do that. I want them to go with every character they want to, or at least these internet streaming services. I want them to take these series over because, like, I'm a Batman guy. Like, I am so about every Batman. Well, I almost said every Batman movie. Every Batman movie where the costumes didn't have nipples, I'm a fan.
Which one had nipples?
Clooney, Kilmer, all those really bad
that
ones.
was bad.
But I mean, the first Keaton one and then all of the new ones, of the last three, are fantastic, and I just love that character. But what I like about the idea of this is superheroes, Captain America, even like any of these ones, the Avengers, any of these Iron Man, any of them, would be so much cooler if they said fuck and like actually beat the shit out of somebody. Like in an alley, and their skull is knocked in. Like, I want to see Batman almost kill a guy with his bare hands and then like regret it and like go, oh my god, what am I doing? And have these
you want it to get dark like it's supposed to.
I want it to go where a 12-year-old can't come to the theater and watch it or watch it on Netflix. And I understand why they go that way, but
are comics? I'm not a comic book reader, so I don't know. But do comics get that dark? Like, at their essence, are comics supposed to be that brutal?
I'm not a comic book guy either, but what I have read of them and what I know of the genre, yes, yeah,
okay,
it's get pretty dark.
They do get really gritty.
Yeah, I can picture some really, like, when Superman died. Like, it's fucking dark. Like,
yeah,
it's
for sure.
really messed up looking. Like, even just the little, the little slides that they make for the comic books. So I think actually that this is built for the Netflix type place, and where you can have it, where you can let it go darker, HBO type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of superhero stuff out there right now, and it's not like my favorite genre. Like, I'm not opposed to a superhero movie. Like, I love Christopher Nolan's Batman. But, I mean, there's just so much of it that it's kind of like, okay, like, how many different ways can we do this? But that's the coolest part about comic books is there are so many different plot lines, and the story really never ends, which is awesome. But at the same time, when I think of superheroes, I still think of, Christopher, whatever his name is, flying Superman.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, I think of Christopher Reeves, Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is very...
I mean, and he's like pure, and he like fights evil, and I mean, but that's not really what the world wants anymore, right? Like,
I think that's what I mean. I think you need to take that into the 21st century.
Yeah.
And make it dark and gritty.
Sure.
And that's what I think Christopher Nolan did that with Batman.
Yeah, he did.
But he didn't take it as far as I want him to.
No, it's not a gruesome movie by any means. None of those movies are. I don't think any of the Batman movies are gruesome. And
I don't even necessarily need the gruesome. I mean, I want to see. There should be. You think Batman's not getting laid? Like, and not necessarily to show him having sex, but I just mean like there's a whole dark side to superheroes. I think that isn't shown as much in these, and especially their villains.
Right.
Like, think of the Joker on Netflix or HBO too. Like, Heath Ledger was phenomenal in those movies, or in that movie, only the one. And God, it would have been for many, many. But if you could even make that a little darker, like if he took that just one more notch, oh my God! No, nothing against what he did, but I'm just saying that if you even in the next one, if he even goes deeper, like I'm fully on board. But then it loses
some of its just cool superhero-ness. It becomes like Saw to me. I don't know. Like, to me, like the coolest part about his Joker was that, you didn't, he held the knife up and he had these horrible scars, and it was like, you use your imagination, right? You're like, oh fuck, what the hell happened to him? Like, that's disgusting. And then that one scene where he takes the pencil and he just, shoves it through the guy.
Yeah.
Like that.
Puts his head into it.
Yeah, I mean, that was fucking cool.
Right.
But it wasn't bloody. But that was like, oh my god, like the yuck.
And that's as far as
But I like
as Sony and whoever will take it.
I like that. Like I can turn on Game of Thrones and I can have all the blood I want.
That's what I want. I want the combo.
Why?
I want the combo.
Why?
I want my Batman to go Game of Thrones on that shit. Like that's what I want to see.
I suppose, but I think superhero deaths are always supposed to be a little bit cleaner.
I think you're right, actually. But
you know
what though? Because I think that comic books are attributed to 14-year-old boys.
Sure.
I don't think there's 14-year-old boys that read comic books anymore. I think that actually the comic book readers are 34.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're my age.
Yeah.
And so let's evolve. Like let's let it get there then. Like let it catch up with us. I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be really and we're gonna find out if Netflix does this right with Daredevil. Because like I said, I don't give a shit about that character, but I'll go watch this just because it's Netflix and maybe they can have some fun with this. Who knows?
They cast it right and it's dark enough and whatever. Game of Thrones, House of Cards style. Great show.
That's coming back soon, right?
Yeah, we got 2 weeks. It leaked.
Oh.
It leaked like today or yesterday by mistake, and people.
The first episode or something?
Yeah, and people
really?
were on it, and then they shut it down fairly quickly. But people got to look into the first episode for a bit. So
that's cool though. You know what? That's a smart leak. Like you should leak that.
Oh,
like,
we only got 10 minutes.
Get the buzz going. That's a great idea, actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
All right, so we're running out of time here, but we got to talk about. Did you see the latest swimsuit issue of SI?
Yeah.
The plus size model.
I know.
I'm
getting
a little self-conscious about my weight.
I know.
Like, am I plus size? Like, I mean, her waist looks a lot like mine. Like, holy shit. How is she plus size? What is plus size today? What does that
Apparently,
mean?
she's a size 10.
In what?
Like, I don't know. In her pants?
Her
I
dress?
don't know.
Like, I don't understand what 10 is, I guess. Unless, maybe she's 8 feet tall. And so then she's, proportionally, but otherwise she looks, if she's 5'8", 5'10", whatever, she looks like a very good-looking, in-shape woman to me. She's
beautiful, and she's in shape. I mean, I don't know. She's 4 pant sizes bigger than I am. And that's, I'm like a size 6, so 6, 7, yeah. 6, between a 6 and an 8. So she's like a size bigger than I am. So I would be considered plus size. I mean, really, I would. Think about it. If I'm 5'8", and the models are my height and taller, like you have to be about 5'8" to be a model, they probably weigh about 115, 20 pounds. And I'll just give my weight because I don't really care. Usually when I'm like at a really good, like when I'm running and like doing my triathlons, I'm super hot, I weigh like 145. 150. So there you go. So these girls aren't eating, and this girl's probably just eating and like working out and has like a great muscle mass.
Right.
I don't know. The whole industry is fucked. I mean, those girls are little. Those girls are little.
What it says to me,
size 2, but 5'8".
I've been disgusted by the Victoria's Secret, like the runway show that they do.
Yeah.
I swear when they're in the magazines, they can make them so they don't look so goddamned bony, but they look skinny as shit when you just see them on TV when they're actually walking
really
around.
They're not. I mean, and I think those girls work out. I don't want to.
No, they're in quote unquote in shape.
I don't know.
But I think they could all use about 14 sandwiches. Like I don't know. I guess bottom line, what I'm saying is that if that chick is plus size, welcome plus size models.
Yeah.
Because I am all about plus size models. I guess.
I would love to see what she looks like, kind of untouched. I don't know why. It really doesn't matter, but. Sometimes I've seen like plus size models that are gorgeous, but they actually really are curvy. I mean, they have like a little bit of like the side, the little bit of top that you can kind of. No, I'm good, thank you. And I think the little bit that you can grab onto on their belly, and they're kind of like, they're just a little curvier, and they just have a little more thigh and a little like more ass, and they're just like you can tell they got junk in the trunk.
Well,
in a great way.
What's
but
her
this
name
girl
right now?
looks thin. I mean, she looks real thin.
Who's the 20-year-old?
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton, to me, I have seen 50 photos of her where she looks much thicker than this quote-unquote plus-size gal.
Kate is like had this really cute kind of curvy body where she has kind of these like hips and a butt and like she's cute.
And I don't even think you can call her thick.
No.
Like she's
not thick. She's just got normal fat.
Yes.
And even then she probably doesn't.
And compared to if you put her next to 100 chicks her age just randomly, she's going to be pretty skinny.
Yeah,
don't you
she
think?
is.
Like just
absolutely.
in general?
I don't know. It's weird. It's, it's like just get rid of the word altogether and just put them all in a magazine and see what people react to.
Or better yet, stop doing the magazine. There's pornography. We're out of time. But I mean, seriously though, I remember the day when we would, as 14, 15-year-olds, we get pumped about the SI swimsuit issue. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week, live from the Alive and Social Southside Studios. Thanks for listening from O'Gara's tonight. We'll see you next time.
See ya.